So what is your definition of insanity? It's keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's what a lot of drivers do. They don't seem to learn from their mistakes. And here's what I mean. You take a load that, let's say that they tell you it's paying $2 a mile, and you jump on it. But you do that without knowing what your costs are. So you deadhead when you're running empty, that costs you money. Your time, your vehicle, wear and tear on it, the maintenance, the truck payments, all of this costs money. And you have to factor that in to your operating costs. So if a load is paying you $2 a mile gross, but by the time you factor in your truck payment, your maintenance costs, your insurance, all your insurances, being able to pay yourself a living wage, well, let's say all of that's going to cost you $1.60 a mile on average. You're running for 40 cents a mile. The way I do it is every 60 to 90 days, I want to go back and look at what is my fuel cost on average, because it's constantly changing. So what does it cost me on average over the course of the last 60 days, last 90 days? What does my insurance cost? What's my maintenance cost run for that last 60 or 90 day time frame? And you have to average all of that out and then divide that by how many miles you've covered over that last 60 to 90 days. And that'll give you a good indication of what your actual operating costs are. And that's before you pay yourself. You know, people ask, can a truck driver make $100,000 a year? Sure. An owner-operator can make $100,000 a year. An owner-operator can gross $300,000 a year. But that's just gross. That's on the surface. That's before you expense anything out. ProDriverTools.com is building tools that can help you break all of this down, help you determine what your costs actually are, and hopefully help you become profitable or more profitable. Justin over at Just Trucking is always saying know your worth, and I totally agree with that. You have to know what you're worth. If you don't look out for your own bottom line, who's going to? You're not out here doing this just for the thrill of it. When you're sitting waiting to be loaded for hours on end, waiting to be unloaded or whatever the case may be, all of that costs you money. You know, we all have a specific amount of time on this earth, and we need to maximize it. If you're sitting waiting to be loaded or unloaded, that's time wasted that you could be making money. So you need to be compensated. And whenever a lot of these brokers want to pay you a maximum of 4 hours of detention time, but you're stuck for 9 hours or 12 hours or 6 hours or even longer in some cases, who's going to pay you for that time? You can't possibly factor all of that in whenever you're pricing a load. So you have to make a judgment call at that time. You know, do you continue to sit and wait, or do you move on to another load? But that's a discussion for another day. Take a few minutes and just think about, how do you price your loads if you're not figuring in what it costs you to operate you know, you're just deadheading for free. Brokers will keep on using that to their advantage. They have to move the freight. That's their job. That's how they earn their living. But you don't have to take it. If it's not profitable for you and it's not going to make you money, why bother? I understand sometimes we all have to take a load that it's a get me out of here load. You went somewhere, you took a load, and you made pretty good money on it, but now you can't find anything within 50 or 100 miles that is going to get you out of there, that's going to pay you worth a damn. So sometimes you have to kind of suck it up, but still, when you suck it up and you take a load for less than what you should, how do you make up for that? You need to be able to cover that cost somehow, even if it's just making a note on your records that, hey, I should have took this load for this amount, I took it for that amount, and then you address that with your accountant at the end of the year to see how you can handle that on your taxes. There'll be a lot more of these videos coming along in the very near future. If you have ideas, thoughts, suggestions, whether it's for the kind of videos you want to see or if it's tools that you want on ProDriverTools.com, please note it below on the comments, and we'll do whatever we can to try to put out as much useful information and provide as many useful tools as we possibly can to help everyone. Until next time, see you.